Hello and welcome to Top Story. It's comeback time for Hillary Clinton and John McCain in the US presidential race. Both candidates have notched up key wins in New Hampshire, reviving their campaigns. Clinton banished the jitters after her disappointing third place in Iowa last week and defied the opinion polls to defeat her fellow Democrat Barack Obama. In the Republican camp, McCain, the veteran Arizona senator, sailed past Mitt Romney and Mike Huckabee, who had taken the top spot in Iowa. It's a remarkable turnaround for a man who'd almost been written off last summer. But the contest is still wide open, with 4 states to hold their primaries before Super Duper Tuesday on February the 5th, when vast swathes of America make their decision. Well, to take stock of the race so far, I'm joined now by Patrice Debert, the former Washington correspondent for the French daily Le Monde. Thank you very much for being on Top Story. Good morning. How do you read this victory by Hillary Clinton?
Well, as you just said, it's a surprise, but at the same time, New Hampshire has been a state that has been very good for the Clintons. That's where Bill Clinton earned his nickname of the comeback kid in 1992, where he had been almost written off, and now Hillary is, in a way, the comeback girl.
How did she come back exactly? Was it the fact that she almost cried, or the fact that she mobilized the female vote?
I would say both. Usually, when you show some weakness on television, it doesn't pay in the States. But this time, maybe this cracked her armor, and she looked like having some feelings, having a heart, and maybe this made the difference. And then you've got the formidable Clinton machinery in a state which is, as I just said, pro-Clinton, but also a state that is very unpredictable.
Well, now, you mentioned Bill Clinton in 1992. There's actually a parallel also to be drawn between Bill Clinton then and Barack Obama now, because he came second. They both came second in New Hampshire in 92, and now Obama this year. That victory took Bill Clinton to the White House, so Obama's still very much in the running.
Certainly. Well, it's not plain sailing as some people might have expected, most people expected yesterday, which would have robbed the campaign from any real interest and suspense. But you're right, Obama represents something new, represents a change today, just like Bill Clinton did 15 years ago.
But surprisingly, the independent voters seem to have come out for McCain, not for Obama.
They came for both. McCain got a lot of independent votes in 2000, and Obama got more votes among the independents, which are very many in New Hampshire, and they can vote for any candidate. He got more votes among the independents than Hillary did. Hillary got the older vote, people who think that someone has to have some age and some experience, the women, as you just said, and the hardcore of the party.
Now, you were actually there when McCain won in New Hampshire in 2000. When you're watching the coverage today, do you get a sense that this is different? This could really be his year?
Maybe he's trying to revive his old campaign. He has the same old bus, the Straight Talk Express. But at the same time, he's eight years older. He's over 70, that's a bit old. But he's so far above the Republican fray. He has principles, he has ideas, he has courage, whether you like him or not, whether you appreciate his strong support to the war in Iraq. But he's someone you can count on, and he's not only a guy with money like former Governor Romney. So I think he has a chance, but that it would be just like when Ronald Reagan was elected. Voters preferred an older man to a younger one.
In terms of the issues, did we see any common thread between Iowa and New Hampshire, or was it a very different set of issues?
It's a very different set of issues. They are very different states, and there are two states that often make history, and I called friends in New Hampshire yesterday. They were sure they were making history, but they are not representative of the states, and they give a momentum, and we'll have to see in the next few days or weeks whether this momentum swings back to Obama or on the Democratic side, and comforts John McCain on the Republican side. But in the Democratic camp, this means a very bitter fight to the finish, and sometimes not very pleasant to see.
So they're not necessarily representative of the country as a whole, these two states. Does that benefit Rudy Giuliani, who's now in single-digit scores in both states?
Well, I fear that Rudy Giuliani might be forgotten when we got to Florida, where he thinks he'll make his comeback, because we will have three other candidates, well-trained, better known, who have been front page in the media, and who have shown that they were ready to fight. I'm afraid that Rudy Giuliani might come a little bit too late.
Really, even though he's got New York still to vote and California and other populous states.
Yes, but the momentum might be against him. If John McCain can go on with his straight talk express through Michigan and South Carolina, it might be difficult to beat.
So what can we expect, if I could ask you to look in your crystal ball, in the next, it's 4 states, I believe, that still have their primaries before Super Duper Tuesday. What trends do you think we might see there?
Well, it's difficult to read in a crystal ball in politics. What we have seen yesterday showed that politics was not an exact science, but more of an unpredictable art. So I'd rather not predict.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you very much
you.
for that analysis. Patrice Debert, a former Washington correspondent for Le Monde, one of the top French dailies. You can catch up with this edition of Top Story on our website. That's www.france24.com. And of course, don't miss our extensive coverage of the race for the US White House here on France 24.